morning, and welcome to Eternity Speaks. I'm your host, Reverend Bill Eggleston. I hope that everyone has had a great week and is doing well. Today, I'd like to talk about the importance of self reflection. I believe I may have talked about this in a past episode, but the message is still important, and I'm kind of getting that nudge to talk about it again. Uh, it's essential to take stock in your life once in a while, to really stop and think about all that you've accomplished and all that you hope to accomplish in the future. This isn't a time for to doubt yourself though, or to beat yourself up for your past mistakes. This is just uh, a time to reflect on your life. And if you find yourself going there, uh, going to the negative, pause, ask the Lord for for guidance, and ask that He helps you stay on track with it. Um, it's important to it's an important thing. Self care is, especially these days, it's getting more and more important all the time. Um, it's a time to better yourself and to heal yourself. That's why I'm putting this out there. So many people are going through so many different things. Uh, it's important to stop and think about your life. Uh, it's a time to, any negative thoughts you have, just set them aside. Concentrate on you, your goals, and your relationship with God. In order to know where you want to go in life, you first must consider where you've already been. Learn from your mistakes. You need to develop that contrast in your mind between what you want in life and the lessons that you've already learned. Set aside some time each day for what I like to call God time, really. It should be a quiet time, free of distractions, where you can simply have that conversation with the Lord with no interruptions. I know that may be very difficult to do, especially if you have small children, or you're a single parent, or you've got a really large family. Sometimes you can't get a minute to yourself. Uh, but do what you can to find that minute, even if you're laying in bed before you get up in the morning. Just lay there quietly and just have that conversation. Uh, you might have to set aside a time early in the morning or even after the kids go to bed. But the important thing is to set that time aside. It really doesn't matter when. God doesn't keep office hours. He's there 24/7. Uh, I know I've said this in past shows also, but I- it's it's something I really like to do. I've grown to kind of look forward to it a bit. Is is I use my morning commute as my God time. Uh, Sometimes I'll just drive in silence and let my mind wander a bit. No radio, no nothing. Uh, I address my thoughts as they come to me. I'm always paying attention to the road, of course. That I don't want to get too distracted and drift or anything. But other times, I have a full on conversation with them. I'll that's why I use the morning commute for my God time. It's I'm I'm one of the only ones on the road, and it's dark outside. There's there's no one to there's nothing to feel self-conscious about. I can have that conversation out loud and nobody's going to think I'm crazy. Uh, but the point I'm trying to make here is to take that time to pray. Have that one-on-one conversation with God every chance you get. You could call it God time, uh, morning prayer, evening prayer, lunch with Jesus. The name isn't important. What's important is that you have that conversation. Uh, think of it as a chance, as a time to catch up with an old friend. Remember that God's always there for you, uh, for whatever you're going through. It doesn't matter what you're going through. He's always going to listen and always guide you through it. Uh, he will place the right people and the right opportunities in your path. It's important to trust in His plan for you and learn to recognize those people and those opportunities. They won't always be obvious. Sometimes there are lessons that He's trying to teach you. So, sometimes you have to learn to navigate through all of that. You may find the wrong person several times before you finally meet the right person, but that's also part of that plan, part of that lesson. You need to know, you need to understand and learn what you don't want, so that you have that contrast and you know what you do want. Uh, just learn to trust your feelings about people and circumstances, and always pray and ask for guidance in every situation. It doesn't have to be a formal, on your knees, clutching the Bible sort of prayer. You can simply pause and ask silently for guidance uh, during the situation, even. There's time. I mean, how many times have you met somebody and you're not quite sure about them, and you're thinking about it? They're talking to you, but you're not quite hearing everything they're saying. You're kind of you're kind of trying to read them a bit. Ask God for guidance. Maybe that person, you just need to give them a chance. Maybe the reason why you're having that odd feeling is because this isn't the right person to be dealing with. Uh, just something like that should become a routine thing to do. Just second nature. Always asking God for everything. Keep Him up front and foremost in your life. It's kind of like asking a friend for advice. Uh, we've all had that too. Have a situation, and we'll call our best friend and say, "Hey, this is what's going on, and I'm not sure about it. What do you think? Give me some advice, and what would you do?" And you have the same conversation with God. It's the same thing. You're not going to get a direct answer necessarily. I mean, you might, but you're he's not going to send you a text or something and say, "Hey, do this or don't do that." But you'll get that internal feeling, that nudge, from within of what you should do, or how you should proceed with it. But all in all, the things that I hope you take to heart from the message that I had today is to always trust in God's plan for you. Uh, Always have that daily conversation with Him. Take the time to reflect on your life's goals, and always be sure to thank God for what He's done for you in your life. Gratitude is very important. Um, you find that every day. When you're at work and you feel as though you're appreciated for what you're doing, you have a tendency to want to do more. Uh, it's the same thing here. If God's doing great things in your life, thank Him for it. Don't only call on Him when you're having an issue. Uh, Talk to Him every day. He's there for you. He should be the first person that you think about when in any situation. Anytime you need advice, or something goes great, just thank God for it. Uh, that's that's the best thing you could do. Uh, at this time, I'd like to go ahead and turn the show over to Barry and our special guest, St. Thomas.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Uh, Want to warn everybody, I've been fighting the cold all week, so if we break out into a coughing spell here, don't be surprised.
Okay.
Oh, and one other word. Next week, I've got to be attending my granddaughter's graduation from law school, so we won't have a show next week, but I will be back in 2 weeks. And when we do, we're going to bring back an archangel. We're going to speak to Raphael. I don't think he's been on the show yet.
I don't think so.
But he always has wonderful messages. So in 2 weeks, we'll have Raphael. Okay.
All right.
All right. Let's get on with St. Thomas. Good morning, everybody. And thank you for allowing me to come through today. This may not come as a surprise to you, but I'm going to speak to you about doubts. I had doubts. When our Lord left us, I doubted whether He had the ability to return to us. Oh, He had said He would, but I had doubts. None of us ever realized exactly what He was speaking of. How were we to know that He was going to be the first human to ever not reincarnate, but to reestablish a physical form after death? I certainly couldn't believe it. We had never seen it before. So we had doubts. Now, I was blessed to the point that He reappeared to me and showed me that He truly did resurrect. He showed me the wounds on His body. I couldn't believe it. My other friends were with us. They saw it as well. So together, we put all doubt aside, and we truly knew that Jesus had returned to us in bodily form. He told us very clearly that he wanted us to continue to deliver his messages, which we did. We did our best, and we changed the lives for billions of people. Now, I don't blame any of you sitting out there to doubt that God truly exists. I know that he is not something that can be seen. He's an energy. God is an energy. We don't see him over here. If he wants to take form, oh, we can talk to Jesus. That is the form of God over here. It was the form of God on earth. But it is not easy to believe. I went through it, just as I explained to you. Now, many of you have many doubts with what's taking place around you and the economy and everything. You doubt whether you can support yourselves. You doubt that you can have a sufficient retirement. Many doubt that they can raise their family. Many doubt that they can educate the children in the way that they should be educated. It is truly a very difficult time, and you should have many doubts. But what you need to do is lay out a plan to eliminate your doubts. Now, there are many things in this world taking place today that you have no control over. That's very true. But there are many things that you can take control of. You may doubt your government. That's very understandable at this time. There are many people in government that care more about wealth and greed than they do about taking care of the people. But you can do something about that. Elect people that believe in God. If an elected representative follows the teachings of God, then he will look out for the people. When your elected representatives show greed, they're not looking out for the people. They're looking out for themselves. Of that, there is no doubt. Believing in God can be a very, very simple thing. Every week, Barry brings you messages of either our Lord or people that followed him in life, like myself. Many of you doubt those are truly the words of us that are speaking to you. Well, I can tell you that you should have no doubts about that. I was one of the disciples of Jesus. I did my best. I tried to spread his words. I tried to follow him. I did everything I could do to make sure that the people of the time understood that Jesus was truly a very unique individual, that he had a very special relationship with God, and that he truly could perform miracles, and that if you followed him, you would absolutely have no doubts. Today, things are different. You're living in a modern world. There are many out there that say all of our technologies lead to doubt that God exists. I want you to think of it a different way. If God did not exist, how could you have those technologies? It's only through the blessings of God that you've been allowed to learn. The humans have been allowed to advance, and that humans, hopefully, will learn to coexist and get along. Now, humans are very slow to learn those lessons. There's no doubt about that. Look at the terrible war that's taking place in Europe. There are individuals and countries that have absolutely no regard for human life. They are destroying people's lives literally for no reason. They're doing it for power. They're doing it for greed. They're doing it for all the reasons they should not be doing it. If they would just, and I want to point something else out. By attacking the Ukraine, they are creating problems for themselves that Russia will face for generations. They are a pariah upon the world at this point, and they have They're bringing people together to defend themselves from them. We all over here hope that calmer heads will prevail and there will be no use of weapons of mass destruction. But humans have the ability to make their own decisions. They have free will. Jesus speaks to you about this every week. Free will can be a great thing or it can be a dangerous thing. He talks to you about that every week. We are hoping that common sense will control the free will of those terrible people that are creating all this havoc in Europe. It would be very good if each of you would pray for those individuals. When you pray, your words are heard not only by our Lord, they're heard by angels. And when you pray specifically, they're heard by guides of individuals that can influence people over there. Prayer is powerful. It can help change the world. The problem is, not enough of you out there pray to us. Many of you have doubts. How could a prayer possibly have any effect? Well, we can assure you that it does. We can assure you that those prayers are heard. Now, those prayers cannot be answered because it goes against life plans or free will. You've been told that many times as well. But there are many, many times that prayers can truly be answered. Guides can hear those prayers and influence others in their decision-making processes. Maybe it's as simple as praying that the people of Russia understand the problems that they are creating for themselves and that they try to establish a government that will do what the people want for a change. We watch from over here and we so pity the people of Russia. They've been taken advantage of for years and years. They're lied to. They are lied to so much that they never hear the truth. If you never hear the truth, then how do you decide what is right? You think that a lie becomes the truth. Evil people throughout time have pursued that policy. They lie, they lie, they lie, and the people believe that it becomes the truth. Those lies create doubt. There should be no way that you have any doubt that God truly exists. Look around you, look at the miracles. Look at the birth of a newborn baby. That is one of the greatest miracles that humans can see. How would it be possible that two living cells get together and create this beautiful form with billions of cells that can grow, can learn, can laugh, can bring so much joy to the parents? There's no doubt that that's a miracle. Doubt can only lead to worry. You repeatedly hear from us that worry does no good. Action. Action can lead to the elimination of doubts. Take action today to firmly believe that God exists, that he died on the cross, that he resurrected, and that God continues to watch over you from heaven. Have no doubts. Yes, I admit I had doubts, but I was so blessed that God came to me in the form of Jesus after he had died on the cross. You see, when you return home, you will have absolutely no doubt about the existence of God. So why would you allow doubts in your current lives to affect what will happen when you return to heaven? Doubt leads to misactions. Misactions lead to you doing things of which you will require forgiveness. You repeatedly hear us talk of the golden rule, doing unto others as you would have them do unto you. Have no doubt that if you follow that simple instruction, you will have a much happier life, and you will be greeted with open arms, and you will have nothing to fear when you return home. Never fear death. Death is something that is going to happen. It's an inevitability, and that's something you can have no doubts about. You are going to pass, and you are going to return to heaven. Now, many of you think that there is no heaven and that when you pass, it's going to be the end. And we feel very sorry for you. There's no reason that you have to feel that. Have no doubt that your soul will return to heaven. Have no doubt that your soul will have the opportunity to return in additional lifetimes. And have no doubt that your soul has the ability to live a life of wonderful happiness. So I want to thank you. I know many of you refer to me as the doubter, and that's okay. I know that you have doubts as well, so maybe I'm the one that you should be praying to. You can. I hear words, I hear prayers, and I try to do as much as I help people get rid of their doubts. So have no doubt that God exists. He loves everyone. He wants everyone to coexist. He wants everyone to do unto others as it would have them do unto yourselves. So thank you for allowing me on this wonderful Sunday morning. I hope that you will tell your friends about it. I hope that you'll pass this message on. Maybe you'll find out that you really shouldn't doubt. That's what I found out. So goodbye. I know that God is blessing all of you, and you will receive many, many more messages from us. Goodbye.
Okay.
Yeah. Very good soul. No, we've talked to him several times. He follows a path that's based on what was said about him. So they're all good. They're all great.
Oh yeah.
So
Yeah.
2 weeks from now, we'll be back with Archangel Raphael.
Okay.
Sorry I can't be with you next week, but
That's all right. I might try to put
I need
something
to have my
together.
family continue to talk to me. So
Yeah. Yeah.
of that you can have no doubt. So
Yeah.
goodbye. Bless all of you. We'll see you in a couple of weeks.
There- Well, there you have it. A great message from St. Thomas. Um, it's great when you think about it. Uh, when you hear stories of the Bible and everything, and it's always a positive thing. It's all there's always a miracle there and everything. It's nice to hear the contrast with what Thomas was going through, with that doubt and how his feelings of doubt were resolved, and it puts more of a human face on the story, um, because we, like you said, we all have doubts. We have doubts about things that we shouldn't have. We find out later, oftentimes, that we shouldn't have doubted, and we find out sometimes that things that we trusted in we should have doubted. But when it comes to God, there's no doubt at all. Um, as Thomas was saying, you see it everywhere around you. From the birds in the sky to the trees to the weather everything happens for a reason. Everything is a gift. Everything right down to your cell phone. I mean, the technology, like he was talking about. We wouldn't have that if it weren't for God. We wouldn't have any of this. Um, every day truly is a gift, and we need to be thankful for that. We need to not doubt ourselves, not doubt God, and not doubt each other. There's good in everyone. We need to pray for one another, look out for one another, and just be there for each other. Uh, when it comes down to it, that's each other is what we have. If I'm having an issue, there's probably somebody out there that can help with that. Or if they're having an issue, it's there's something that I can help with. It's a give and take sort of thing. Uh, we need to be available for everyone. We need to help each other. Uh, if you need any advice or any help or questions, or I'm always available. You can reach out to me on Facebook. You can reach out at eternity-speaks.com. You can check out our YouTube channels. It's We're not that hard to find. You're watching this on Facebook right now. Don't hesitate to reach out. Send me a friend request. Ask me a question. Uh, I'm always here. I'm here for everyone. So next week, as Barry was saying, he's going to be out with family. I may try to put something together. It won't be through this, obviously, because it's Barry handles that on his end. But um, I can put a video out of some sort. I'll try to have some kind of a message just so that there's not a lapse there. Uh, but we'll see how that works, and I'll get to work on that. But for now, go ahead and be great to each other, help one another, trust in God's plan, and we'll see you next week. God bless.